peer review assignment. It will show up under your to-do. So if you haven't seen it yet, and you were with us on Friday, it's going to show up here under to-do. And when you click on it, here's all the things you can do with it. So you are able to look at their assignment. Depending on what file type it is, you might have to download it. And over here on the right is where you can add comments. You also can show the rubric and assess them on the rubric that I have attached to that assignment. How's that happen?
Hey, Erin.
Yep.
If you go to view feedback, believe it or not, you actually see their submitted assignment.
Oh, that's a great, awesome.
So you didn't really have to download it.
You do get Crocodile.
Yeah,
Awesome.
You have to do view.
So you don't have, thank you, Denise, I didn't even know that. If you click on view feedback, thank you to Denise, you don't even have to download it, and then you do get the Crocodile so you can drop in comments and you can annotate it. Set that up. So when I was in Best Assignment Ever, and I created the assignment, one of the things I did was I attached a rubric, which you guys all saw. You used it too as a peer reviewer. That's what I used to. That's what I used to score your papers. Okay, so here's where you set up peer review. It's one of the settings when you're creating an assignment, and we briefly went over this on Friday, but we didn't get a chance to use it. All you do is you say require peer reviews. Now, you can assign them two different ways. You can manually assign. So if you manually assign peer reviews, if you know, like I want this person to review this person's paper, you can set them up manually. I didn't do it that way. I had Canvas automatically assign peer reviews. And I just had each one of you do one, and then I said that I wanted them to be assigned after the due date. So I left that part blank. So as soon as the due date came for this assignment, then they just all went out to you guys. And they were there for you this morning when you came in. You knew you had to do it. It was under to do. It was one of the things you needed to do. Steve?
What if a student doesn't do the peer review?
You will see that they didn't do it. So I'll show you that next, where we can tell.
Would they not get their grade or anything like that? Or
no, you would just you would see that they didn't do it, that they didn't complete that part of the assignment. You can have them appear anonymously. I didn't do that for you guys, so you were able to see who reviewed your paper. Okay, but you can certainly turn that part on if you don't want them to know who reviewed their paper. You can still see it. So on the teacher side, you can still see who reviewed whose paper, of course. So that's how you assign peer reviews.
And did you type that text though? This peer review is not finished yet. Did you manually?
I didn't type that in. No, that just came up.
Oh.
So let me show you. Go ahead, Steve. Question?
Can you use a different rubric for peer review other than the assignment rubric?
It is going to be the same assignment rubric. It'll be the same rubric. Yeah. Yep. So whatever rubric you have attached is the one that your students will use for peer review. So when I go into this assignment, I'm able to then see all the peer reviews. So for me, then when I go into that assignment, see it showing up over here on the right under related items, and one of them is peer review. So here's where I can see what's going on with the peer reviews. The ones that are checked green, that means they did it. It's complete. Priscilla?
So I'm trying to see what the student sees. Like I actually commented in Crocodile to Rachel Schwartz. In my other instance, I could become a user, and
right.
Like when I logged in as a student, I couldn't see comments.
It might be, they do see it because Richard had one too. So it might just, it's compressed in that little window. You might need to scroll over. Yeah. We realized that with Richard too. They do show if you use the Crocodile annotations. Because Richard had some. Go ahead.
So I commented on some of my student stuff, and I know some of the other peer reviewers commented, but can the actual student who submitted the assignment toggle through? Is it all on one?
No, it's going to be in two. So the way they can see the difference is when they click on Show Rubric, they're able to toggle between the different your responses and then the different reviewers. And then as they select whose it was, they'll see the different comments and ratings come through.
And then the annotations are all on one page, or do they have to view between different cropped out versions?
The annotations they should show on one page.
Okay.
The rubrics will be separate. The annotations should all show on one. And they'll be able to tell whose is whose because it tells at the top the name. Right, like word comments. So here's how I'm able to see as an instructor what's going on with my peer reviews. And then if for some reason you ever needed, so mine were manually assigned, mine were Canvas assigned, but I can go in here and say for Antonius, I can give him another one if maybe the student he was originally assigned, something happened to that one. So I could resend this paper again or remind him. So if, I could say to Antonius, hey, don't forget, you need to do Carly's assignment. If I click this green arrow, it'll do that. Or if I wanted to change it and say, no, I'm going to give Antonius a different one, I could delete Carly's paper and send him a different student's paper. So those are all things you can do with the peer review and assigning them to students. Any questions about that?
Yeah, how did you get to peer review?
How did I get to it?